You see the little.
Oh, I saw little ears poke up. He
just curled himself harder into my lap. I guess maybe now I can roll in because he's small.
He's underneath. There you go. That's what you asked for.
Yep, he's squished under the table right now. Hopefully he doesn't wake up. He's literally just like flat. Okay. Hi. Yeah.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Paula.
Hi. I'm KATRINA.
This is the Gallifrey Gals Get Warped, the show where we watch Star Trek The Next Generation.
TNG. Where it feels like home.
Gosh, it's a good show. I love it.
It just feels like home. Like
it's been so fun getting to show you this show, and especially being in the middle of my two favorites. Season 3 is my favorite, but season 4, I always say seasons 3 and 4 to me are my favorites. There are some banger episodes coming up in later seasons, but overall,
but when you have
these are my favorites. So episode 4 of season 4 is what we're watching today.
I see the title.
It's called Suddenly Human.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to have to do with Data because
we just had a Data
and it
episode.
Was literally about Data and lore and the humanity chip. Fucking lore.
It's all motiony chip.
Data.
I know, right?
Anyways. Yeah, I don't know what this could. I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Well, we are gonna watch and find out.
I can't really move.
Because the cat.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyway, so we'll watch some Star Trek now that we're done talking about cats. Are we ever done talking about cats? Probably not.
Never. Absolutely never.
Alrighty.
Okay, there we go. I fixed it. We're good to go. Let's watch it.
Let's get warped.
Bitches.
Captain, this appears to be a basic training ship. 5 boys, all teens, all wearing uniforms.
Proceed with the evacuation, number 1.
Go with the life science board, sir.
Commander, quickly.
What is it?
This boy, he's human.
Captain
I just remembered who this actor is.
Completed an emergency evacuation of
I have a story
and one human.
from the end of this episode.
This young man
We
found
love
himself
that.
in the company of these aliens remains a mystery.
It's Jono, right?
Chad
Is
Allen.
that what I heard them call you? I'm Dr.
Is that
Crusher.
this guy?
I'm just examining you for
Do you need to pause it and tell me?
No, I'll tell you at the end.
I have a son not much older than you. Perhaps you'd like to meet him. Now, how did this happen?
That's
What is it?
unsettling. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Stop that immediately.
Well, that's better.
Captain, I am Jono. Take me home to my captain. Take me home to Endar.
She was trying to help you.
I don't want her help! Ask me back on my brothers! Send us back to Captain Endar!
Jono, I want you to stop this immediately.
Yes, Captain.
Good, that's
okay.
better.
There's some
Now, if we don't
authority
accomplish
something
anything
going on
to
here.
Picard,
Why are you here, Klingon? With them? Did they capture you too?
They are not my captors. They are my comrades.
Why do you take orders from a female?
Dr. Crusher, she is my superior officer.
Among my people, a female can never outrank a man.
You are human.
You are
Among
human.
humans, females can achieve anything the males can.
And I think it
What's
should be you,
up,
Captain.
Picard?
Yeah, wait, you gotta nurture.
Counselor.
He's like, no. I'm sorry, I don't like kids.
Oh, no, Counselor.
No,
I don't think so.
Nope,
No,
can't
no,
be me.
we
Absolutely
need someone
not.
who is
Nope.
trained in these matters.
He's
I
like,
am
no.
not
The
trained.
only person with whom he has shown any connection.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If he is to find his
No, me, no,
humanity,
counselor.
then you are the only one who can help him.
No.
It's up to you, Captain.
It's just sheer
Look at him.
fear. He's like, I almost rather be a Borg.
Yes, sir.
Good work.
Now that's cleared up. Let's,
Now that that's cleared up.
I don't like this place.
Me.
we could find some other quarters.
I've always lived with my captain.
Ah,
Yes,
yes, well, that wouldn't work here.
his face.
Well, I'm sure you'll see there's nothing here to appeal to a young person. Put that down, please.
It's Klingon.
Yes, would you put it back where you got it? I probably skipped my childhood altogether.
You know, Captain, almost no one is born being a good parent. Most people just have to muddle through and do the best that they can.
You're saying that's what I'm going to have to do?
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly it.
And you might be surprised at just how good you can be.
She's like, you want blunt? Here's blunt.
What is this noise? It's music. This kid.
Katrina at 16. I hate everything. I'm gonna sit in my room in the dark.
Kavira, what was that?
The Alba Ra, a contemporary Talarian musical form.
Those are Connor and Moira. Rosa. They are your parents. The baby is you.
I know that Endar rescued me. He told me so.
Jono, your parents were killed by the Talarians.
It was war.
I am Captain Endar of the warship Khmer. To whom am I speaking?
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation starship Enterprise. We have rescued 4 crew members from your observation craft. They have received medical attention. They're ready for transport.
Your actions are duly noted. We will forward coordinates for immediate transport.
You're welcome, I'm sure.
One moment, Captain. I require an explanation.
Yeah.
Why has this child been held in your custody for so many years?
No explanation is warranted, Captain. He is my son. I suppose. After the battle, I found this squalling child huddled by the body of a young woman, his mother, presumably. There was almost no one left alive on Galen 4. Was I to leave him screaming over his mother's body?
Should have notified the Federation authorities.
Then under no circumstances will I allow your ship to leave our territory.
I've already reported our position and the nature of this violation to Starfleet.
And I've already called for reserve forces into this sector.
Saying that you're willing to go to war over this boy.
Would you not for your only son?
Return you to
You've
your
reached
family.
the age of decision. What is your choice?
What, I just have to choose right now?
Do you want to stay?
No, of course not.
Then you shall not.
When I heard the miracle that you were alive, I wanted to reach out to you as soon as possible. I find myself wondering what you look like.
What is her rank?
She's an admiral.
She outranks you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's Grandma.
If I were home now, I would go to the Bray and run along the river as fast as I could.
Jono.
I can't do any of the things that calm me here.
Now
Love
you
it.
have to return
He's
the
out
ball
this.
Love it.
before it bounces twice, all right?
I love it. Wall ball. Except for we didn't have rackets. We just threw a baseball at the side of the school.
Not bad.
Yeah, right.
I win at all the games.
I win it all the
Believe
games.
it.
Or tennis ball. I think I said baseball.
You did, but you're right. Yeah, it was a tennis.
I definitely
It
meant
probably
tennis ball.
was a tennis ball.
This is gonna end in
Like PTSD.
It's all right. It's all right.
She was all red. I cried. She didn't answer me.
yes, meet Wesley.
What would you like?
Now let there be more conflict.
What
What is that? This is called a banana split.
Hell
it's quite possibly
yeah.
one of the greatest things in the universe.
Hell yeah.
It's quite possibly one of the greatest things in the universe.
It's called a spoon.
It's called a spoon.
Thank you, Data. He holds it.
Oh.
Yes.
I fail to understand why this is amusing.
Access your data banks under humor, subheading slapstick.
Stressing farce and horseplay.
Look at him.
He's human.
He's a different person. Who would have thought we'd ever see him laugh out loud like that?
I was like, Picard is going to be a very light sleeper.
Two bleeders, single plane penetration. I need the auto suture here.
Yes, Doc.
That wasn't a dream.
No.
I'm afraid not.
What matters is that I have attacked a captain. I am ready to be put to death. I felt I had betrayed him. I'd be throwing away all that he'd given me. As I grew closer and closer to you, I knew that meant leaving more and more of that life behind.
The Khmer is requesting communications on a secure channel. On screen.
Commander Riker, you have failed to transport my son aboard the Khmer.
Our intentions have not changed, Endar.
There was a crime committed on board this ship, but it was not Jono's, it was mine. When we found Jono, it seemed so clear what had to be done. He will return home. To the only home he's ever known. And to the father that he loves. Goodbye, Jono.
Goodbye, Captain. Thank you.
Tricky.
There is no right answer. And I think that's what's so frustrating about this topic. There's cat hair. Camera. He's so fucking pleased with himself about it too. Yeah, there's no right answer. Maybe on paper,
yeah,
there's a right answer, but not really, because it's just so fucking complicated, and the human psyche is super fucking complicated.
Yep.
And when you're taken away from your home at the age of, he's probably like, what, 4 years old?
3 or 4, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 4 years old. You're so young, and your brain is just so, like, it's the right word I'm looking for, like, malleable. Like, it's just like, you're just based off of regular instinct of survival, you're going to adapt, like you're going to adapt to your surroundings. And obviously the guy that took him, like, whatever his intentions may be, like, he obviously sees him and views him as his son. Like, he obviously loves him in that way. Like, you can't deny that. And it's the complications of their culture. And well, my real son was killed by humans, and so I have the right to now take this child whose parents maybe he killed, or maybe just got killed in the invasion or whatever. And so he loves him like his real son. There's no doubt in my mind with that. It's just, it's so complicated. And it's just hard because then, like, to see him, like, start remembering his, like, before like human life, and then and just like feeling like that's betraying the life that he's been living. And so in order to do that, he's just going to try to get himself killed by, you know, it's just
yeah. I mean, you can hope that in the continued story of this character, that as he gets older, you know, now being aware of these other relations and this other former life, being able to come to a place where he could kind of like live in both worlds in a sense.
Kind of like Worf.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to say in the episode. Then I went, I'll wait to talk about this. Is I love what they did with Picard in this episode, but it's interesting to me that they did not have Worf play a bigger part in this episode, because you'd think that Worf and Jono would have quite a bit in common. Worf's parents were killed in an attack. Some humans found him, adopted him. He grew up on Earth. And now he's like, where do I fit? What society do I live in? No one was like, oh, those humans should have returned Worf to the Klingons because they knew he was Klingon. Like,
he was Klingon.
It's interesting that they didn't have that come into play.
Maybe they didn't want to confront that slight hypocrisy of it.
Yeah, they're like, that's a different storyline.
And also they gave Worf that episode, I think in season 3, with the little kid that like.
Yes, the what was that? The bonding or
the bonding?
Yes,
like that.
True. That's very true. They were probably like, this is retreading somewhat of a similar storyline
that we've already done.
Man, I love watching Picard. Like that moment when he's like crying and Picard like
just holds.
Oh my gosh, it's such a nice like little arc he gets in this episode.
And like Picard, I love, that's why I love his and Troy's relationship as well, because like, you know, it was almost like he was like trying to get out of homework, you know, and he was like, I didn't have to, and she just like, no bullshit. It's like, hey, like, no, you're better than this. You can do this. You'll fucking surprise yourself. Now turn around and go do it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna look right into camera again. Goodbye. And I really love that. And she does it in a way that's not like, you know, how sometimes Dr. Crusher will have to pull I can fucking make you do this. You know, like she'll be like,
I have authority over you, actually.
I can do it. And Dr. Crusher will have to pull that out sometimes. So I feel like Troy and his relationship, he doesn't necessarily, like, she doesn't have to do that. She gets to just be like, no. Like, just no bullshit. No. Like, no. Go do it. Yeah, I guess the best thing to hope for is that like he'll learn from his time with humans and hopefully not hold himself back in the future, you know. Like, it was good that he was able to see, like, yeah, that's your grandmother and she's in a higher ranking position than Picard, this person that you like so willingly and very easily look up to and listen to, you know, like, and respect. I thought that was an interesting little touch too, but I don't know that it's not that it was a bad episode. It's just like, ugh. The whole Stockholm syndrome is just very, very, very complicated. Very complicated.
And now, like, some people are like, oh, that's not even really like where it was coined from. It's not really accurate. Like, it's not really what happens. Like, is Stockholm syndrome even a thing? Like, there's some interesting like talk now. I'm like, what exactly is this and how does it work? And is it what pop culture thinks it is and stuff? It's interesting. It's very interesting. But of course you grow up. My interpretation of this episode is not that this kid was being held captive. He was just being raised by someone else. It's not quite the same.
Not quite the same as what I would assume as Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
It's kind of like,
where you're like held in a basement or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Because do you know kind of where Stockholm syndrome stemmed from?
Yeah, there's like a bank or it
was a bank
hostage situation. Mm-hmm.
It was a bank robbery that got out of control and these guys ended up holding a bunch of hostages, but then they were taking care of them. They were like and like to the point where the hostages were like, nah, these guys are great. Like, they're super chill. We don't want anything bad to happen to them. And it was like this really weird thing where the cops were like, what the fuck do we do? Like, what do we do with this? Like, So yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. But it definitely, it's like he said, like, he was like, broken ribs, broken eyes. Like, have you ever had a kid? You know, which, like, accurate. I've broken several bones. I was a maniac as a child. I don't know. Oh, it's just so
interesting. That scene with Geordi, when you're like, oh, we haven't seen him yet. So he actually wasn't there to shoot this episode. He had just had surgery. This is footage from something else that they put into the episode. It's like recycled footage of him they put in. Hilarious. He wasn't available for filming.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That's that.
Tell me about Chad Allen.
Chad Allen. I had totally forgotten it was him in this episode. So Chad Allen also plays the oldest kid in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. If you ever watched that show.
I did not.
It's like slightly before, you're probably just a little too young for it, but it's Jane Seymour. It was like her big things. Anyway,
we love some Jane Seymour.
So I didn't watch it actively, but I would watch episodes of it here and there when I'd catch it on like reruns on TV, like in the summer or whatever. And I had a big crush on Chad Allen. I was just his character in that. I thought he was so cute in that show. I was like, this guy, give me more episodes with this character.
Give me more Chad Allen.
So cut to many years later, I moved to LA and I'm renting a room in Silver Lake. And the wonderful person who I was living with, unbeknownst to me, is friends with Chad Allen.
Good friends with Chad.
The house just by myself at some point, and like someone knocks on the door and I just go and I open the door and there's Chad. I was like, he's there with his dog being like, hey, is so-and-so home? And I was like, no, he's always like, oh, okay, well, just tell Chad. I was like, okay. I mean, did you want to like come in or did you like, okay, cool, bye.
Well, I just looked up Chad Allen and Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. No wonder why you had a crush on him. My God. The first photo that comes up is like this teen heartthrob. My God.
Yeah.
Also, recent photos of him, he is still very handsome.
He is very handsome.
That would have been, if that was at my door, just like with a dog. Hey.
And he's not interested in me as a sexual partner in any way. I was like, do you have any straight friends? Please, can you have some straight Hollywood friends come to the house?
Please.
But I was like, he got home later and I was like, do you know who showed up at the house today? This person I had a crush on when I was 13. It was one of the most like, it's just not that he's like this A-list star or anything like that, but it was, I think, one of the most like Hollywood things that happened. And I'd been in LA for like maybe 6 months at that point. I was still so new.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my Chad Allen story. He was perfectly nice and friendly. Yeah.
Of course. It's just one of those like childhood, like, you know, where you're like, God, if I told 10-year-old me this shit was gonna happen, she would have never believed me, you know? So it's so fun. I love that stuff. Yeah. Oh man.
Also, let me just double check. I'm fairly certain that his
clickety clack clack
sexuality is known. Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure. I was like, wait, this wasn't a thing I wasn't supposed to like say for some reason. No, yes, we're good to go. Yeah. He's been with his partner since 2005. That's a long time.
Wow.
His partner kind of looks like Andy Samberg a little bit. That's weird.
Really?
Just slightly. They just have similar. Yeah, he does actually. That's funny. Just a little bit. A better looking version of Andy Samberg. Anyhow, that's all. That's my story about that. And I'd completely forgotten that that's who played the kid in this.
That's so funny. That's so funny. I love it.
There we go.
What an episode. Wow, was
this human. I know, yeah, complicated. I just love, it's my favorite thing about Next Generation specifically, and in Star Trek in general, but I think in Next Generation, just the way they tackle really complicated
and sometimes
story, you know, like, yeah.
Sorry, my brain is so like your sentence had already finished in my head, and I was like, yeah, it's they've done it before and it's not necessarily just like ending with a bow on top, you know, like there's been ones where, what was that? The one where they had to talk, and the guy like,
with the sign language.
Yeah, with the sign language, and like
we don't know how that turned out.
People died, and like we don't know how that turned out. It was just like, we hope for the fucking best, but that's, you know, like I enjoy that they do things like that. I enjoy that they take stories and they're just like, it's not always perfect. It's not always wrapped in a bow. Sometimes it's
Are you hungry?
He's just sitting by his bowl, like.
My Remy will sometimes just go up and lick his empty bowl.
That's what Monroe does. That's what Monroe does. She just sits there licking the bowl.
Like, I get the message you're sending me right now, but it is not your mealtime.
No, like, I'm just going to ignore you even harder now. Congratulations. Oh, boy.
Well, y'all, thanks for watching this with us.
Damn.
So, I guess catch your Gallifrey Gals the next time as we boldly watch what no noob has ever watched before.
That's me.
That's her.
Well, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a little thumbs up, and if you want to be notified when we post new content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell in the corner.